Presbyterian Church to recognize same-sex marriage. The Presbyterian Church approved redefining marriage in the church constitution Tuesday to include a commitment between two people, becoming the largest Protestant group to formally recognize gay marriage as Christian and allow same-sex weddings in every congregation. It started out with Stanford College having a lesbian LGBT activist as the dean of religion, and schools have this pro-homosexuality course telling boys it's okay to take them a butt cheek. Now this, I'm telling you, these LGBT people are multiplying like rabbits, and they can't even reproduce. By now you must have heard this on the news, the battle for Tikrit. Iraqi forces seen success in fight against ISIS. But now InfoWars reports that in an attempt to flee the battle, the jihadis were seen wearing dresses and even makeup. But speaking of men in dresses, how about that reporter who got fired for calling Michelle Obama an ape? Apparently he is now labeled a racist for doing that. But an actress came out and even said it's not racist. If anything, it's more of truth. I said this in another video, but she flashed an audience. When kids didn't like her idea for healthy lunches, she went after the bake sales, demonstrating behavior like, oh, this could be my fault, I better do something about it. And instead of making the lunches tastier, she blames the baked goods. That's not acting like a first lady, not even a lady really. It's more like acting like an ape. Instead of coming to a proper solution, she just barrels in and makes things worse, like an ape on a rampage. It's not the reporter's fault she has a face to match her personality. The group that revealed racist video calls for changes. Members of Unheard have presented a list of grievances in a letter to the University of Oklahoma to President David Boren. Move forward. So the racist group wants to move forward. That's funny, I seem to have heard that phrase before. Oh right, Obama 2008 and then in 2012. Parents outrage over school's BMI reports. A Missouri elementary school is sending letters home and kids are wondering what it's all about. Does this mean I'm fat? If I use leftist logic, whoa, did I just say that? Listen to this article. Facebook allows hate speech against fat people. Hate speech. Hate speech is any speech, gesture, or conduct, writing, or display which is forbidden because it may incite violence or prejudicial action against or by a protected individual or group, or because it disparages or intimidates a protected individual or group. With that being said, writing these letters not only confuses the hell out of me when it comes to fat acceptance, but it's also hate speech because it intimidates the children when the question, does this mean I'm fat, comes into play. Hundreds protest Indiana law. Opponents say allowing businesses to refuse service based on religious grounds could hurt gay people. What about the Alabama lesbian legislator who said the Alabama marriage law was pandering and laughable? Doesn't that hurt straight people? Or does that not matter to you hypocrites? Gay people. The backbone of taking the bone in the back. Side. The Hollywood Reporter posts Fox ripped for jokes about the father of the Kardashian sisters. Although I don't know the jokes, I do have one of my own. A lot of you people may know Chris's husband Bruce wanted to become a woman. Not only did he change his sex, he also changed his name. He is now known as Bruce Transgender. Selfie taken at NYC explosion site sparked outrage. Everything that's wrong with NYC summed up in one photo, wrote a Twitter user. Selfies at serious places. Are you forgetting Obama took a selfie at Nelson Mandela's funeral? Instead of a ticket, cops give family a gift. 2 Michigan police officers approached a struggling couple they pulled over for a minor traffic violation. Out of their own pockets. Since the police are public workers, they are paid by the public, aka taxpayers. I remember this one time a while ago at Stop and Shop, a black couple were just about to leave the store, but the wife wanted to buy something, so the husband said, "Don't worry, I got it." So I said, "I think you mean we got it," implying he was on welfare and couldn't pay for his own shit by himself. Well, same principle with the police. The money isn't their own, is what I'm saying. There is mental illness and there is murder. A mental health advocate says depression and suicidal thoughts are often perceived as linked with violence. In the German Wings crash case. Jeff Kuhner was talking about the signs of the mentally ill person on the flight to Denver, saying he was very depressed. His girlfriend broke up with him. He was seeing shrink after shrink. He was depressed and wanted to pursue violence. By the way, he decided to sue JetBlue for the passengers subduing him. But we only discuss depression when it's about the Germans, because if we said anything about the Muslim, it would be racist and blah 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 hypocrisy. Anyway, I was involved with the police myself. It was an embarrassing situation, but I was walking to the liquor store and I heard a bus coming up behind me. So I turned around thinking it was public transportation, but it was a school bus. Long story short, the police were called, caught up with me. I said I was going to kill myself, so the police grabbed me by my shirt after I repeatedly told them I was fine, and they wouldn't let go until I went into the ambulance. But to no avail, they found nothing wrong. So I was stuck with a bill for over $1,000, which my insurance covered, but I still had to pay the $75 room charge. So this fucking Muslim guy isn't the only one who can sue. I still want to sue the Chelmsford Police Department.